Hey guys, it's Dave, and oh man, this is Monday morning, the night after the WWE Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and I have to say, for a show that started off botch fest, boring matches, it kind of picked up near the end and really took off in that main event, and I'm going to get into it right now. Let me start by saying first, in my prediction video, which I did on Friday, I went 4 for 4. I was right with 4 matches. I was wrong with 4 other matches. So, I batted 500, not too bad. Let's start off at the beginning of the show. It was for the WWE Tag Team Champions. It was the New Day defending their titles in a fatal 4-way against the Club, Enzo and Cass, and the Vaudevillains. Now, this match started off pretty well. The crowd was really into it. A lot of pops and everything for everybody. There were a lot of botched moves. There was even, I believe, a referee 3 count made when Enzo, I think it was Enzo, was making a pin, which had the crowd momentarily pop and then realize wait, the match is still going. That was a big mess up somewhere. There was a huge botched move with, was it Gallows? Yes, it was Gallows. I guess Big Cass missed his cue, and Gallows just literally stood there while Big E is holding his tag team partner. Gallows is just standing there looking around for 30 seconds. Looked like he was just frozen in time until Cass came in to do his spot. So a lot of botched moves in this one, weird ref calls. It just fell flat once all those issues were coming. But they had the New Day retain, which I don't understand why they would do that. I thought it was a perfect opportunity to move the titles off New Day without them actually having to be pinned to lose the titles, and to get the titles on somebody else that might need them to help elevate them to the next level, which New Day does not need. They are the most over tag team in the WWE, the most over thing right now in the WWE. But anyway, really from there, it kind of just started to really sink down into a bad, boring, botched show up until the second half of the show. But let's get into it. Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin wrestled, and for some reason this match was they said it was going to be on the kickoff show, but it ended up being on the show. On the kickoff show, just so you know, they had 2 tag team matches, the Dudley Boys versus the Lucha Dragons, and they had the Golden Truth versus Brizdango. I'm not going to review those because I didn't really watch them. I had it on, but I wasn't paying attention. Didn't care. But we got Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin. Huge, boring chance during this. The odd thing that I found, and this is a very alarming thing that the the WWE has to figure out what they're doing, is that Dolph Ziggler started getting chants of Ziggler sucks. So it was let's go Ziggler. All of a sudden, half the audience was chanting Ziggler sucks. That is very alarming for Ziggler and the WWE. Ziggler, who a couple years ago, if you remember that Survivor Series when he was a sole survivor and he was one of the most over characters in the WWE, is now being chanted Ziggler sucks. This shows the writing and just the plateauing of the Ziggler character, and they need to figure out what they're going to do with that. Otherwise, Ziggler might as well just get his release now and move on from the WWE. Corbin won. I predicted that. Corbin, I felt they had to have a win. He's the young stud. He's the one that needs to go over, and he's the new era. But I don't know what they're doing with Ziggler. It kind of sucks that he's put in these weird matches and predicaments, and he's kind of lost in the shuffle. Then we get into the women's tag team match, Natalya and Becky Lynch versus Charlotte and Dana Brooke. For Divas Revolution, I mean, they really have sucked these matches lately. Don't know what they're doing. I don't know why they couldn't just have a regular women's championship match with Becky Lynch and Charlotte, but they had this tag team match. Charlotte and Dana went over. Again, some botched moves, boring, uninspired kind of match. No one cared. It felt like the audience was dead at this point, and you can't blame them. The show just drastically got bad, and they were not feeling it whatsoever. Dana, Brooke, and Charlotte went over. Then Natalya turned heel on Becky Lynch. I don't get it. I would have rather have had, if you're going to have Charlotte and Dana Brooke win, I would have had Becky turn on Natalya. You have Becky, Dana Brooke, Charlotte, and maybe you bring up Bayley as a heel. Have them as the 4 horsewomen, new stable. And you have, when Sasha Banks comes back and when she's cleared, you have her have to run the gauntlet of going through those 3 constantly, all different types of stipulations, have her build up to face Charlotte at SummerSlam for that women's title, and it really build up a great feud and match, and you have Sasha win it, huge pops, because she finally beats the the 4 horsewomen or whatever they could have called it. But they went the Natalya way. We'll see what they do. I don't know. Whatever. Then we get into the Sheamus and Cruz match. Another just uninspired match. Kind of didn't care. Audience didn't care. Cruz went over, which was smart. Cruz has to go over. He's the new era, and Sheamus is the old era. But curious to see where they go from here. Don't know what they're going to do with Sheamus. Again, he was supposed to be on the kickoff show too, but they moved that. And the pay-per-views now, because I guess they're on the WWE Network, they have a little bit more control over the time. They're making them go over that 11 o'clock, which is brutal, because you start watching at 7. Last night's pay-per-view didn't end until about 11:30. I mean, it's a long time to watch wrestling, and I know they can do that because it's their network, but they got to think about the fans. Like, I'm on the East Coast. I mean, 11:30 at night, then I got to get ready. I got work in the next day. I got kids to get ready for school, so it's kind of rough for some of us. Then we get into the Styles and Cena match. This match was very good. I really did enjoy it. AJ looked great. Cena looked good. The crowd was pretty mixed. I always say I thought the crowd was a little bit more leaning towards Styles than Cena. Good match. It ends up with a referee gets hit or something or knocked out. The club come in. They help AJ. AJ wins. But it is amazing that John Cena just couldn't lose clean to AJ Styles, which makes it's very alarming and makes me wonder if AJ's in for a couple of losses now. But I feel like AJ had to win because he hasn't won at a pay-per-view. I don't even remember when. He lost at WrestleMania. He lost the last 2 pay-per-views to Roman Reigns. So he's been on a losing streak. He finally gets his win at a pay-per-view against John Cena. It was a good match. I would have liked to seen a clean win, and I would have liked to seen a little bit more. Maybe cut out all the talking and all the video packages and everything and focus more on giving the wrestlers more time to do their matches. But I'm happy. AJ went over. I don't like John Cena. It is what it is. Then we get into the Money in the Bank ladder match. This was a very good match. A lot of sick-looking moves. A couple botched moves, but, you expect that in a ladder match because you're dealing with an inanimate object that can, play tricks on you. But it was a very good match. I thought the ending was a little weak. Just because they had the ladder set up, like it looked like there was going to be some sick, awesome spot. And yes, Kevin Owens took a little spot where he fell back on the thing, on the ladder, but they never really utilized what they set up, and that was kind of disappointing because it looked like it could have been really something cool and pretty sick. But there was some sick moves and sick stuff taken by a lot of these guys. A lot of "this is awesome" chants and all that stuff. The ending I felt was kind of just lackluster, kind of came out of nowhere, and you're kind of like, oh, all right. But Dean Ambrose got the briefcase, and that's, like I said in my preview, I had picked Kevin Owens, but I felt like there was pretty much anyone in this match could have won, I felt, storyline-wise. They could have really given it to anybody. The only person I feel like might have been a little harder to explain would have been Del Rio, but he looked really good, and he finally pulled off that move where he stomps on you in the corner, pulled it off where it doesn't look stupid, where someone's sitting there holding themselves up. He had the ladder under Zayn, I think it was Zayn, holding him up, which made more sense because Zayn was just laying on the ladder. He wasn't holding himself up on purpose. Dean Ambrose wins the Money in the Bank, and we'll get back into that because that comes up in a little bit. Then we had the WWE US title match. Rusev defending his title against Titus O'Neil. At this point at night. It was almost, I think, 11:15. I kind of forgot that this match hadn't happened yet. Pretty good match. Rusev looked good, looked strong. Titus looked good. Titus's kids were there, so after Rusev wins, he went out and taunted the kids a little bit, and they got on the mic and said Happy Father's Day, like laughing and stuff with his title. He beat Titus with the accolade. Good match. I'm curious to see if this is it for Titus, or does Titus continue? I think they could continue that feud for another pay-per-view maybe because of the aspect of Rusev taunting his kids. They kind of play that, so we'll see. Then we get to the main event, which was Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. And I'm going to give it to Roman Reigns. I know I'm pretty hard on him a lot. This match was actually very good. I was very entertained by this. It looks like Reigns can hold himself together when he's with another good wrestler. You saw that in the last pay-per-views with AJ Styles. And you saw it a little bit yesterday with Seth Rollins too. And you could see Reigns was trying to do more of a wrestling aspect match. Was getting a couple more moves in there, some stuff you haven't seen. I liked his cool little take from a Razor's Edge into the sit-out powerbomb, which was pretty cool. I don't know why anyone doesn't utilize the Razor's Edge move anymore. That was one of the best finishing moves ever. I wish someone would take that. Great match, and Rollins won. Rollins won the WWE Championship from Reigns, pinned him cleanly, and I was shocked that he won. I was like, oh my God, like they actually took the belt off Reigns and gave it to Rollins. I was thrilled because I love Seth Rollins. Then all of a sudden, Dean Ambrose's music hits. He comes out, He cashes in his Money in the Bank briefcase right away. I believe it was kind of in a flood. It kind of happened fast. I think he hit Dirty Deeds and got the pin. Dean Ambrose won the WWE title. I am so shocked they gave it to him. I'm happy, I'm happy for him. I'm glad that they gave it to him to see what he can do with it now. And one day, each Shield member held the title. Reigns had it, Rollins won it, Ambrose won it. You had 3 Shield members win or hold the WWE Championship in the same night. That is pretty awesome. Ambrose ends with the title, which is going to be great because it's going to set up some good, probably 3-way matches. I'm curious to see what they do with this. I'm sure they're going to be building up to SummerSlam for some crazy, like maybe triple threat match or some type of match, you would think. He doesn't seem like the atypical wrestler that they would give the belt to, especially with the jeans and the tank top. He looks like a normal, regular dude, out on the street, which I guess is cool. So that was the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Let me know what you thought. Let me know how you did with your predictions. Leave your comments below. Remember to hit up that red subscribe button to get all the notifications of our videos. And remember to find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Everyday Geek TV. Thanks, guys. Adios.